Anyways, for today, I want to be playing some more Arcadian. Definitely want to do another Glaucopis run first, and then I think I'm gonna do an Arcadian Allied Clan run with random primary clan perhaps. And yeah, see how they work themselves into other strategies. So let's jump in. Okay, so our secondary clan is Hellhorned, the traditional version. We have Synchronocity twice. That makes it much more appealing to use, because they will buff each other. We have Vent, we have Ember Wave. Well, we have a lot of damage spells here. We're fighting Talos with Rage, Arcus with Incant and Harvest, and Seraph the Impatient. Our analog is Apply to Rage. Let's take a look at the relic. Queen's Tail versus Firewall. Firewall and build some Pyre strategy. Not sure how good imps work with this clan. I mean, I would assume they would work pretty decently, but I don't really... yeah, there's not really great support for them in this clan. Let's go with Firewall. Maybe we can finally get a Pyre build working. Although we don't have the Pyrelink champion. I really like Ephemeral. Gives us a good way of getting rid of some of the weaker spells in our deck. And also lets us able to cast those spells for free. But Echo is honestly also not terrible. I guess Echo is a champion that works quite well with imps. Well, only with Fledgling Imp, really. Let's go with Ephemeral again. I don't think this deck particularly likes the Echo. Vent. That's nice. Set up the top floor. Or set up the second floor. I set up the top floor. It's much safer. Let's apply Rage to the backliner. That makes a bit more sense, I think. How important are these synchronicities gonna be? Will we ever draw into them again? Maybe. But I feel like we're better served using them now. Just for the 20 damage. This fight is not really long enough to grow them. Oops. Missed the order there. Well, we still have the Pyre wall at the very least. So we're not taking that much damage. If we had one more damage on the boss, we would only take 2 hits and the Pyre wall would absorb it all. We are gonna lose 5 health here. Hi Charles, welcome! That might be a bit difficult. But you can always watch the VOD later if you feel like you missed something. But we just started our first run, so you haven't missed much. Do we try to go for a Synchronicity run? It feels like such a bad idea, but I wanna try. We have 3 Synchronicities now after all, so well, the helper seems really nice. What unit are we looking for? Let's take a look at the logbook. Let's take a look at these Arcadian units. Cinderborn, Embermite, Fire-Shaped. These are all okay. Minerva Owl could be interesting. Quite interesting, in fact. Honestly, I don't think most Arcadian units will be very good in this deck. And I want to upgrade these Synchronicities. Like, right now they wouldn't be great. Let's get a holdover Synchronicity. That seems reasonable to have around. Also gonna upgrade one of these went with some extra magic power and consume Branded Warrior Rail Beater. Maybe this one can deal some damage. I'm tempted to buy a Purge. We're not gonna need any coins next floor. Let's get one Train Steward out of the deck, so we can cycle faster and perhaps draw into our Synchronicities more often. This time around I don't want to set up on the top floor, because I do want to keep some space open for a welder helper. That might be important. These spikes are a bit of a problem. I don't really have a way to protect my Branded Warrior is the problem here. I need to kill this guy. So if I draw into another Synchronicity, maybe that works. Is there... If I don't play this now, I get to play this for 30 next turn. That's not really worth it. I should be holding the other ones and playing the holdover one, I guess. Ideally I would get Permafrost on one and just keep that one in hand while buffing all the other ones. We have to. The more we have, the more appealing it is to actually hold them in hand and keep buffing them up. In Passage seems reasonable. Another Welder Helper is also not bad. I think I prefer the Welder Helper. We need some way of surviving enemy attacks. First Hellpact, Temperate Talisman. Hellpact is nice with the vents, and there are a lot of X-Course cards in Arcadian. Skip the Remains of Armageddon. It's not the skull this time. We have the first Hellpact. Let's get the shield. That's gonna solve our problem for defense once we get it ready. Which will take 2 fights. So for Talos we need our Welder Helpers to do the job. Top floor is capacity reduced. We don't need this Synchronicity right now, so I am gonna actually let that one go to waste. Or rather, trigger the... this is definitely a vent on the bottom floor. Do I wanna take 14 to gain a sleigh? Probably not, that's a bit too much. Looks like we'll be able to get a sleigh here for a bit less incoming damage. Still buffing my Synchronicities up. This might be a good turn to play some. Getting another sleigh here. I killed the imp to make space for the next one. Will show up soon, I hope. Let's weaken this guy. Play out the train stewards and then clear this floor. Because that's way too much damage. And now we have the holdover Synchronicity dealing 40 damage. Was that really worth it? Maybe. That's not terrible, I guess. It's a big payoff turn. We get to deal 120 damage. It worked out somehow. But I get the feeling that Synchronicity is a terrible idea. Rocket speed? Maybe one can still do a Pyre sub-theme. Ember might apply Ember boost. I'm more interested in more draw than more Ember right now. Helps me get more Synchronicities in hand to trigger their reserve. I really like the Merchant of Steel now. Removals would be nice, but they're not that important. This allows us to go for Herzal's Horn and the Duke next turn. Next ring. Sure. I would like that. That would be quite a nice upgrade. But it means it's gonna be hard to play these imps. Let's look at the champion upgrade. Now, Echo would have been kind of cool, because Echo on Glaucopis with a Branded Warrior means every time we buff the Branded Warrior, some of the rage will also spill back onto the Branded Warrior. That would have been quite nice. Also, the Holiest Shield could also work well with that. We can still go flame linked, but I kinda wanna have Glaucopis as a tank now. So let's go with the higher HP version. I don't think I can really justify the large stone here. I'll take the small large stone instead. And here's the multi-strike we've been looking for. Yeah. Don't want to perch, or do I? If I'm going to the right here, I might as well buy a perch now. Improve my chances for the next fight a little bit. Multi-strike? Okay, I think we can deal with this. Especially if we set up on the bottom floor. Which is capacity reduced. Train steward on the top, just in case the collector spawns there. And we immediately get our first slays off. Well, the helper should be all the way in the back. So we can get buffed by the branded warrior. Or I could remove it, because I will have to do that eventually. We can have the second. Well, the helper stand around there. Let's start working on this guy. This rebates 1 energy. And this welder helper is the one that will get buffed. This looks alright, but I kinda wanna remove some of the incoming damage to Glaucopis. Let's start on the next turn of incoming damage. And we'll just play these torches to get them out of the deck for this fight. Prevent damage, buff rage, remove cards, buff synchronicities. Our deck is now mostly synchronicities, so that's kind of cool. 60 damage already. There's no real point to killing this clip defender. I should just throw out all the damage on the boss here. And we do have the kill. Okay, this deck is working better than I expected. Railhammer? I'll take it. We don't have a ton of armor generation, but we do have a bit. Pyromancy ward. Ooh, Delation. It has to be Delation, right? With the first Hell Pact. That's just great. Like, even for 0, it's 15 attack and 9 health. And it consumes, so it rebates some energy. In fact, 2 energy with this Glaucopis. So we can easily play for 2. Still get the full energy back. And that would be 25 attack and 15 health. That's just too good to skip. But time freeze with all the synchronicities. It's gotta be Delation though. Important work. Branding right. Another way to apply armor would be nice. Imp in a box is also not terrible. I think I like Branding right the most here. Okay, this deck is slowly but surely getting somewhere. Maybe the armor was less necessary, considering that we now have Hope for Peace and can actually make use of our Holiest Shield. Split Anvil to further increase the power of our X-Cost cards. I really want to dupe the Synchronocity, but I think I should instead dupe the Holiest Shield. No, maybe not. One cast of this will surely be enough, right? We cast this for 3 Ember. That's gonna be 12 damage shield. That should usually be enough to win a fight. But we need these Synchronocities to start scaling. We need them to get slays on our champ. Not champ. Branded warrior. No need to play the Synchronicity. The longer the fights go, the stronger Synchronicity becomes, so... That's nice at least. This makes everything else cost 0. Supply some armor here. This guy's not a sweep variety. It's an expensive slay. But it's an important one. We need to be able to deal with this overcharge tank pretty soon. Boom, giant branded warrior. Now we can't play welder helpers on this floor anymore, but maybe that's okay. It's probably okay. I need to play the train steward first. I don't think the Synchronicities are necessary to deal with the waves anymore, so I can let them buff each other up. There's our giant defense boost. Honestly, I just want to consume this. Buy some armor here. And let's start throwing our Synchronicities at the boss. Ooh, we got all of them. Okay, that felt pretty good. Palm reading, seek, rewind. What could we rewind for? Dilation? Rocket speed, not really that great. Holiest shield, very nice. Went and all the base cards. The fact that all our base cards consume makes rewind quite a bit weaker, I think. Probably should just go with seek here, right? I think that's just better than palm reading. Find the card we really need. Another branding right. I wouldn't mind. I'm gonna go with the Rage Serum instead. It has consumed, but that doesn't really mean much with our Glaucopis because we can't rebate energy from it. hatches, check strips, hammer, chest blades. It's too late for check strips to be really that impactful. Firestone housing, guild marker. How much gold will we earn? We need about 4 times the amount. We need 4 times the amount the guild marker costs for it to be worth it. So that would be 860. We already have 415. We'll earn at least 400 here if we take the challenge, so the guild marker should pay for itself. I'm also gonna take the Firestone housing, because I'm heavily relying on a single powerful unit. And yeah, extra upgrades are pretty useful. I'll keep 1 train steward in the deck, and I'm gonna remove torches now. These do consume, but we need to play them on the floor that our champion is on for them to consume, and that will not always be easily possible. And they don't really work well to remove backliners anymore. After this fight is when they will stop being effective against backliners. We have 50, 60 damage, a bit less because we'll lose some rage. We'll definitely have 50 available though. Top floor is bad this turn. How much damage will we have next turn? This is... we'll gain some rage, so we are dealing about 70? Not quite as much. I could use the vent instead of the synchronicity. I think I want to vent on the bottom floor though. And then we rocket speed and synchro. Keep the holiest shield for later. Well, the Halber is very nice. I think I also want to play branding right. This is 54, 68. We still have the kill as long as we don't play anything here. We do now have enough damage to kill the Master of Light as well. Actually, we can play this because we do gain attack from that. But we should start working on these guys. I'm gonna keep the Welder Helper in the deck. Although, I probably shouldn't, because I'm gonna play Delation when I draw it. Just to consume this torch, and then we Synchronicity this guy, so we only have 1 enemy next turn, which we can pretty easily deal with. Let's get the Welder Helper so we can actually play them before we delete. I should play the analogs first. They will rebate their energy cost after all. And now we have a lot of power. So we can use, so both of you die to the Branded Warrior. Time for the shield. Let's also apply some armor. This floor is fine. This floor will be fine as well. Let's consume this. Yeah, we can let our synchronicities grow. We don't need to play them. That's actually a pretty cool mechanic. I kind of like it now. It's certainly not amazing in the early stages of the fight when you don't have a lot of time to grow them, but yeah, with the high density of them, they will grow quickly enough to become relevant. I should start throwing them out on the boss now though, because otherwise I am growing them for no good reason. They are definitely not a boss killing tool or even a frontline killing tool. And obviously for backliners the growth doesn't mean a whole lot. But what they can do, and do pretty well, is set up your slays. Get the enemies in range for your branded warrior or Hornbreaker prince or whatever you're using. Easy dark deal here. I think it's the only card here we are really interested in. More draw means more synchronicity action. More Ember would also be nice for the X-cost spells, but that's not really that important. Do want to upgrade the Branded Warrior some more. I could do so either now or here. I only need one upgrade, so I don't need a lot of gold. Impervious is definitely not what I want. It's pretty much the one that I least want. Quick is pretty decent. Quite solid, in fact. The Historian. We have the first Hell Pact. Gift of Gratitude is a lot of extra gold. We moved away from our Pyre strategy. That's fine. Let's go all the way with tanky Glaucopis. 120 health. That's a pretty good tank. They can survive for quite a while without us actually having to play cards. This is a bit worrisome, especially with the damage shield. Not damage shield, spell shield. We need a way to deal with the Gilded Wing. How can we do that? Dark Deal is our best scaling. Well, I can hit the Gilded Wing, but maybe that's not what I'm supposed to do here. In fact, I'm pretty certain that's not what I want to do. I use these as late triggers to grow the Branded Warrior so we can better deal with the next wave. I wouldn't mind hitting the Gilded Wing a bit so we don't take too much fire damage. If that's something that's possible here. The dilation seems good. We want to keep this Weller Helper around just to gain the rage from the Branded Warrior. But dealing damage in bursts of 40, so bringing this guy below 160 should be good. Well, that was quite a bit of damage. But it's not a huge deal. The consumed will actually grant us quite a bit of energy back. Start with rocket speed and thy holiest shield. This time around I do think I want to try to kill this Gilded Wing. Which means popping these damage shields. That's a good chunk of damage. Not quite enough to get a kill. But with the Synchronicity that should be possible. $240 gold is a nice amount. Definitely synchro here. Went just to remove some damage shields, then get some armor applied. And that kills everyone here, that's fine. We can hold the Synchronicity. They didn't grow that high this fight, but they were certainly useful. And we should have an easy kill against this boss. Took 21 damage to the first Gilded Wing, but that's all we took, so I'm fine with it. Do we want a revelation? Yes, yes we do want a revelation. Getting another copy of Thy Holiest Shield. Of Delation. Oh, the Gift of Gratitude didn't purge. Okay, that's a bit unfortunate because this is the last fight where we could have taken advantage of this at all, so... Yeah, revelation is good. Inflame. Battering Ram? No, not Battering Ram. I don't think it's Battering Ram. Is it? Or is it Battering Ram? No. We have the Synchronicities for that. I'll take an Inflame though. Some Rage, some Armor. That's gonna go on the backliner, so that will certainly be helpful. Improved Firebox. I'm always tempted by that. Bone of the Blacksmith, probably not necessary. Lightstone Casing, we have almost no spell upgrades. Consume Removal. This should definitely cement our victory. Let's also cost reduce some of these X-cost spells, like Thy Holiest Shield. Magic Power on the Vent is not necessary, but it's still the best place to put it. No, we don't need that. Save the gold. The Permafrost target is pretty easy. Just have a Synchronicity we always keep in hand. Let's upgrade the dilation. Firebox and reroll, restraint, steal, very nice. These are some useful artifacts. Just short of purchasing another card. And we copy. I want damage. I want... how much is this? This is 20 damage the very least. Most likely it will be 29. Only playable once though. But yeah, that's pretty much what I want. I want early attack, and then as soon as we've grown to a certain power level, we are mostly okay, because we grow with the sleigh at that point. Definitely want to set up on the top. Gain 480 gold. Just to consume it. This is an easy sleigh. We are quick. This is also an easy sleigh. I'm gonna consume the torch. And the Synchronocity stay in hand, so we get them to be strong enough as soon as we need them. Is that even worth? We're buffing the Seraph up with the Swelder Helper, so... no. I'm gonna say no. It's not worth. I'm tempted to fetch the Revelation. I think that might be a bit too early. I'm gonna fetch a Dilation instead. And play Dilation, play Branding Right. Don't play Analog? No, do play Analog. Burn out the Welder Helper. Burn out the Vent, because I really don't care about it. I wanna be drawing Thy Holiest Shield every turn. That's gonna make melee weakness pretty inconsequential. And we start growing the Synchronocity, because now we have our Frozen one in hand. I don't wanna... Actually this Revelation is pretty weak right now. I'll just do a Dilation here and then... Dark Deal. I should also remove one of you, because we can only kill 2. And I do want to consume the torch. With the damage shield I don't really need to worry too much about buffing the Seraph. And it's time to play Synchronicity on you. So we get the kill with 1 hit. Let's also burn out this torch and these units. This deck feels very methodical, like very precise. Why is Seraph only so few attack? It seems like consume spells don't buff him. That is weird. Do they not? This is not a consume spell anymore. I think I've consumed... No, there's still this one. Well, we might see next turn what's going on with that. That's right, I played quite a few spells last turn. The synchronicities don't matter anymore. We are set up now. And we destroy everyone. Revelation didn't seem to buff the Seraph. Yeah. My holiest shield did. I am almost 100% certain that this is just a bug with Arcadian and not a general thing. But I am not sure. Maybe Glaucopis is at fault. Maybe the rebate interaction somehow stops the incant. Ah, beautiful. I know I'm buffing the Seraph, but I wanna play my Synchronocities. Okay, that was a pretty cool deck. I really like the idea of using these Synchronocities to set up Slays. They do work quite well in that. And as soon as you don't need them to set up Slays for a turn, they start growing. And once they've grown a bit, they can be some significant boss damage. But I really don't think you should pick Synchronicity if you don't start out with 2 of them in your base deck. Because that really makes a difference. So yeah, Branded Warrior. The Ephemeral Glaucopis seems quite good. The rebating energy from consume cards is nice, especially with X cost consumes. And giving the starter cards consume is really just a big benefit. Helps a lot with cleaning up your deck and then cycling it just so much faster. Synchronicities, as I said, work great to set up Slays. Rocket Speed was kind of useless in this deck. Holiest Shield definitely provided a lot of extra defense to us. I'm not sure if we needed it all that much, but it was certainly helpful. I don't think we would have gotten enough armor otherwise. Although, well, I didn't pay enough attention to the numbers in the final fight, so I can't say for certain. Anyways, that was a fun deck.